Hey, YouTube world. And today, I'm going to remind you that I can be found all over the web. And by now, if you're keeping up, you should know this. And I hope you're keeping up because you never know what I'm going to talk about. You just never know. I've got a booklet full of things here to talk about. So, first off, I want you to know that I'm found all over the web. From YouTube to Facebook to Instagram, you can find me there. Crafting with Six, you can find projects to do if you're bored or if you're having the grandkids or the kids over, or, you know, if it's the weekend and the kids are home from school and you don't know what to do with them. Go on over there because all my projects are kid-friendly. But you might want to be careful with some of them because they may not be age appropriate. I mean, they're kid friendly, but if you've got a 2-year-old, you might want to be careful working with beads to make jewelry. I mean, it's your discretion. But if you want to go on over there and find an interesting project to do with age appropriate, of course, for you and the kids, then head on over there because if you're anywhere in Missouri, especially in the St. Louis area, the weather is blah on a stick out there today, guys. But that's not my topic. Today my topic is, let's see. I'm going to go with why do people hate to be asked for stuff? And this is a question I've had for a while. Why do people hate to be asked for stuff? That's not something I really ever quite understood. I know we're all, God forbid, scared of being scammed, and we don't want to hand our money and our things off to people that are just bullshitting us. But on a serious tip, don't you think you would know if you're being scammed? I mean, you would like to think you would, right? And if you're being asked for shit and it just sounds crazy, then you're being scammed. But if somebody walks up to you on the street and they ask you for $1 and, you know, they say it's for a hamburger or they say it's to catch the bus, but it's really, you know, they want to go buy some crack with it. Here's the deal, guys. Me personally, I don't give a shit. If somebody walks up to me and asks me for something and I decide to give it to them, I don't care what they do with it. It's no longer my object. It's no longer my money. It's no longer my whatever. Once I give you something, I can't dictate to you what you do with it, and I don't care what you do with it. You know, do I want to be scammed, hustled, lied to, bullshitted? No, I don't. Am I going to be hustled, scammed, lied to, bullshitted in excess? Nah, not on your life, because I'm not that stupid. Now, I don't mind asking people for things, but people always look at me like I'm crazy when I do. And I don't get that. People might scam you out of money, but people aren't going to try to scam you out of food. People aren't going to try to scam you out of coats. People aren't going to try to scam you out of diapers, baby items, and shit like that. And here's the thing. When I ask for things, it generally isn't for myself. And I don't care what they do with it, the things that I get, once I give it to who I'm going to give it to. Because that's just not my thing. Now, here is something I will never do. I will never send money to a third world country just because some guy or girl goes, "Oh my God, I'm loving your friendship. We are beautiful friends." Nah, buddy. Because you see, I'm over on Instagram, and a lot of people call it Insta Scam. And hey, not my words, but I've heard it before. And yeah, I mean, it can be Insta Scam. It can be. Because I have people inbox me all the time, and I let them know over there, and I'll let you know here. I don't private chat with anyone for any reason because, you know, I have cats, kids, and a bunny, and a wonderful husband who is at work right now because he worked overnight to pay my bills and keep a roof over my head and food in my stomach. So, you know, I have no reason to stray, and I have no reason to give off the impropriety of straying. So I don't inbox with people because I'm not looking. Anyways, you know, I find it funny that when we ask people for money, they will, like, here's an example, okay? My grandson passed over the holidays, and he was only 13 months old. And we were so unprepared for this. He wasn't sick. He wasn't sick. He was not showing signs of sickness. He hadn't been in the hospital. He hadn't had a cold. He took a nap and didn't wake up. And we don't know, they're between SIDS and pneumonia. So we still don't know exactly yet what happened. But we put up a fundraiser as his family. His mother did, and his family, you know, we advertised it and asked our friends as well, because we didn't have the money that comes with final expenses. And I can say very few people donated, very few people. And what I don't understand is even if, and God knows I'm not, God knows I would never, but even if I was trying to scam and say that I'd lost a child, which I don't know who does that, but I God knows I didn't, and it was all over the news. And y'all are welcome to type in the child's name, and you'll get a whole news thing and a whole, yeah, it really happened. But even if I was scamming, would it kill you to send in $5? Would it, would it financially have devastated anyone to donate $3, $5? You know what I'm saying? $10. We weren't asking for a shitload of money, but people were avoiding it like it was the plague. People would not even acknowledge that we had a fundraiser going. And it amazed me. It amazed me, you know, and don't get me wrong, I get it was around the holidays because my grandson passed November the 20th. And it was just before Thanksgiving, just before Christmas, just before New Year's. And I get that people had, you know, to take care of their holiday bills and things. But you would have thought that, you know, $5, $3, a couple of dollars. But it's the whole fear. You know, people are quick to say, you have our condolences. People are quick to say, you know, if there's anything I can do, well, that anything, you know, I can do, just ask. Well, you know, we put up a fundraiser. That was kind of like asking, but a lot of people shunned that notion. And they were all like, we don't see it. We didn't see it. You asked for money. We didn't see it. You know, so sorry that happened to you, but we didn't see that. And it was like, okay, you know, I just don't, you know, if I see something, which a lot of times I don't go online and hunt these fundraisers, but if and I've had people over the years ask me for money, and here's how I play this. If I've known you for a while and okay, you know, I don't weigh whether or not your reason for needing money is valid, because I don't care. You know, it's just a matter of, I guess none of us want to feel like we've been scammed. And so if I know the person and I've known them for a while and I'm kind of like, I don't think they would scam me, you know, I'll send them some money. I don't give a shit. You know, I mean, in the end, money is just paper. And if it can help you get from where you are to where you need to be, I'm okay with that. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I going to keep sending and keep sending and keep sending and keep sending under the notion that we're friends? Nah. You know, if we were friends before I was sending, then, you know, I'm going to help you out as best I can because that's what friends do. You know, on the same note, I don't want anyone who's going to see this to think that I feel like you were obligated to help out, you know, the fundraiser with my grandson, because I don't. You know, I don't blame anyone. I don't look down on anyone. I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. The topic is, why are we scared to, oh no, I'm sorry. Why do we hate to ask people for stuff? That's the topic of this video. And so I don't want anyone to think I'm specifically talking about them if they didn't donate to the fundraiser for my grandson, because I'm really not. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not saying it. So don't take this personal, because it's in general, okay? If you helped, thank you. If you wanted to but couldn't, thank you. If you sent out prayers, good wishes, good thoughts, thank you, you know. I'm not trying to call anyone out or make anyone feel bad, okay? You know, we all do what we can when we can, and everyone's different, and we all have different reasons, and I get that no one wants to be scammed. I totally get that. I don't want to be scammed. I don't want to be bullshitted. But I guess I look at things in a different light than most people, and I always have, and I don't know if I'm crazy or well-rounded or not rounded enough, but I just kind of look at it like this. If someone I don't know asks me for money, not a chance in hell, guys. I mean, no. Because generally strangers don't ask strangers for money unless they're scamming or unless it's in real life. Now, if you're on the internet asking people for money because you're homeless and hungry, I kind of wonder about that. But in today's day and age, you could be homeless and hungry at the library online. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't give money to strangers. However, I will give money to people I've never met in person. But at the same time, I will give money to people I've known online for years. And if I've known you for a while and you fall on hard times, and if I can help you, then I will. And again, I'm not rich. I mean, seriously, not rich at all. My husband works 2 jobs to make ends meet for us and keep a roof over our head and keep our lifestyle. And I tell you what, we're not in the ghetto. We're not on the lower end of poverty, but we're not up there with the Trumps. You know what I'm saying? We're struggling to make ends meet, and we're over our head in bills. And, you know, there have been times when I've taken from bill money to send money to friends online. And again, not trying to make anyone feel guilty, not going to tell you who you were and what the situation was, but there have been times that I've taken from bill money to send to someone else because bills we can get an extension on, and I felt like their situation was they were drowning and they needed that log to float by so they could grab on and get out of their situation. Okay, so, you know, I don't judge people for needing help because, hey, been there, done that, and sometimes still there. You know, we all need some kind of help, and we're afraid to ask because we know no one will. And then when someone does, we're afraid to help them because we think we're being scammed. It's like this big vicious cycle of bullshit that's going on. And where do we break that cycle? Where do we go, okay, I'm going to help this person because, and whatever they do with what I give them, I don't care. Because once I give it to them, it's theirs. Now, I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be bullshitted. I don't want to be, you know, scammed. And it's not going to be an ongoing thing, because here's the thing about me. I will help you once, maybe even twice. But once I see you're making a habit of it, I'm done. Because you know what? At some point, you would think that the help that I gave you would be a hand up to you getting to where you need to be. So if my helping you isn't helping you get to where you need to be, then it's kind of pointless, because I'm not actually helping you. I'm just hindering you in a way, because if you didn't have me to help you, you'd figure out something else. And at that point, you need to figure out something else. But it's kind of like, we don't mind donating to causes that we can prove. And it's like, I just totally don't get it. And, you know, I told my kids that this summer I'm going to do an event, which I have done before in the past, and it was quite successful. But I'm going to trade items rather than sell them. And what I do is I might take an item. In the past, I had different items, but now I have items from my store, as you all know, because I do the crafting. But what I'll do is I'll sell something, and it might be an $8 item. And rather than selling, let's just say a necklace, rather than selling the necklace for $8 cash, what I'll do is I'll ask you for $8 worth of canned goods, or I'll ask you $8 worth of non-perishable items. And what I'll do is I'll gather those items from people who choose to participate. You can use those items in trade for a necklace, or you can bring in 2 or 3 canned goods just to donate. And what I will do with those items is, once at the end of the sale, and I usually will run that event for a week, sometimes 2. And at the end of the event, I will gather those items up, and I will either donate them to a church, a food bank, or an individual. And what I will do is I will put out an advertisement, a sign, letting people know that this is what I've done and this is what I have. And if you are truly in need, contact me, and we'll figure out how to get this to you, whether you can pick it up or we need to deliver it. And so it's been a while since I've done it, but like I said, I've done it in the past. And years ago, I had a man come all the way from Illinois to get the food items and things that we had collected during that event. Because my kids are homeschooled, these are the kind of events that we do to give back to our community. And because nobody wants to just donate, it came down to, okay, let's trade. If you will bring me the canned goods, if you will bring me the food items, then here's what I will give you. And it kind of was a great opportunity to teach my kids, A, to ask people for things, B, how to barter, and C, this is how they did it in the old days, before money was a thing. It was, people would trade off. Like, if you've got a blanket and I've got rice, you know. And so that was part of their give back to the community, as part of their homeschooling. And so I'd like to do it again because it was so successful. This guy, and like I told my husband, he wasn't the first person to show up. I had quite a few people show up and ask me about the food, and I turned them away because I wasn't going to just hand it over to anyone. I felt like I would be led to know who it was for, and I was. And this guy showed up all the way from Illinois, and he was telling me his story, which I won't share here because, you know, it was private. But he, as he walked away, and I have to say, we probably gave him about 30 to 40 pounds worth of food. And we ran our event at that time for an entire month. And we had a huge, huge box of food that it took my 2 sons and my oldest daughter and this man to carry out to his truck. It was huge. I mean, we had all kinds of things in this box, from toilet paper to toothpaste to, and keep in mind, back then I was couponing. I don't do it as much now, but I was couponing then. So we added the toiletries and people brought in the food, and there was all kinds of canned goods from, oh, just vegetables to meat to, I mean, because there was canned meat, if I remember right. There was canned pork, and there was chicken and dumplings, and there was all kinds of pastas. I mean, all from macaronis to spaghettis to lasagna meat. There was just all kinds of pastas. This man walked away crying, telling us what a difference this was going to make for his family and how he had been looking for work. And like I said, I'm not going to get too much into his story, but he was just so grateful and so thankful. Could he have been scamming me? Yes, he could have. Absolutely. Do I think he was? Not at all. Do I care if he was? Not at all. Because once I gave these items to him, they were his. If he chose to go around the block and throw it in the dumpster, that was his business and no longer my concern, because I had did what I was supposed to, and I was accountable only for my actions, only for me. I'm not accountable for his actions. I'm not accountable for what he did with it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And I did it not to, even though I felt great about doing it, it wasn't about making myself feel good. It was not about me. It was completely about someone in need. It was completely about helping someone else. It was completely about giving back to the community. And that's what it was about. And teaching my children that, it's okay to give, and it's okay to receive, and it's okay to be in need, and it's okay to ask for help. But sadly, in today's society, if you ask for help, people will look at you like you've lost your freaking mind. And I don't understand that, because we're all human. We're all human. And none of us are above the next guy. I don't care if you're homeless. I don't care if you live in a mansion. We all put our pants on one leg at a goddamn time, and I just don't understand, why is it so wrong to ask for help? I'm not saying send somebody hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not saying send somebody millions of dollars. Hell, I'm not even saying send somebody $5. If you don't want to send somebody $1, I don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, here's what I don't get. There are, right now, in the St. Louis area, there's this place called the Crisis Nursery. And there's so many churches and so many homeless shelters that are willing to accept your donations. Right now, there's people out there that need coats. And right now, in your closet, there's a coat that you haven't worn in years. Right now, in your kid's room or closet or whatever, there's a coat that they outgrew 3 years ago. And though you might be getting ready to pass it on down to the next kid, and that's great, but what about the kid at the end of the line whose clothes that they've outgrown and, they ain't got nobody to pass it down to? Because you're too lazy to go get it, somebody else is going to be cold. And, oh, don't give me a guilt trip. That's not a guilt trip. That's a fact. It's a fact. Because you're too lazy to go get those shoes that you haven't worn in over a year. Because you're too lazy to dig through the kids' closets and pull out their coats and hoodies and gloves and whatever they're not wearing. Somebody's going cold. And then, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not trying to give you a guilt trip. I'm telling you the truth. And, here's the thing. There's, not last year, but the year before, I took a few coats. I went down to, they don't have it anymore, but anybody who knows me knows I used to go to Red Racks when they had their 50-cent sale. Used to love going over there. I would get coats for days. And then I would pin a note to these coats. And it said, I'm not lost. I need a forever home. If you need a coat, take me home. And I would place these around the park near my house. And, lo and behold, somebody would take them. And I don't care who. I never questioned who, where, what, when, don't care. And, it's that simple act that gave someone a coat, or maybe it ended up at the church, or maybe somebody threw it away. I don't know. All I know is I did what I was supposed to, and that's what I was supposed to do. And so many times, here's what people deal with. I'm not going to give them anything because they're scamming me. Why do you care what they're doing? And again, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't give somebody hundreds of dollars if you've got red flags going on and you don't believe. First off, keep your money in your country. And if you can, keep it in your state. And even better, if you can, keep it in your hometown. But, and I'm not saying go be stupid and send someone who tells you have gorgeous eyes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't do that. But someone who asks you for a coat, someone who asks you for socks, if someone asks you for food, come on, guys. How many people are trying to scam you out of a sandwich? I mean, seriously, how many people are trying to scam you out of a goddamn coat? I want to know what kind of gold layered coat you're freaking wearing that people are trying to scam you out of your flipping coat. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I hope you will reconsider. Matter of fact, I got some coats I need to go and donate because I've got coats that my kids and grandkid have outgrown, and I need to get those into the hands of people that need them, because seriously, I have coats keeping my laundry room warm, and I'm the reason that someone doesn't have the coat. So I'm as guilty as you are, and I'm going to rectify that actually this very weekend, because those coats are going to go, I'm going to go take them up to the church that's located in my area, and hopefully they will give them to someone in need. And whatever they do with them is not on me. That will be on them. But guys, I can almost guarantee you every single time that if someone is asking you for food, a coat, clothing, they're not scamming you. Nobody wants to scam you out of a goddamn sandwich. Seriously. If someone's asking you for $100 or less, they're not trying to scam you. Nobody wants to scam you out of $100. Now, here's the thing. If they ask you for $100 and then they ask you for another 50 and then they ask you for 40 and then they ask you for 60, and then okay, I get your point. But if you send them a one-time gift, it's a one-time gift. But I can guarantee you, outside of money, nobody's trying to scam you out of food. Nobody's trying to scam you out of your old coat. Nobody's trying to scam you out of your old shoes. Your shit just ain't that damn great where they're going, oh my God, I must have that even though I don't need it. You wear Felines. I must have your Felines. I need name brand shoes. Yeah, guys, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. So why we are scared of, or why we hate it when people ask us for stuff, it's a phobia that has been pounded into us year after year, because we will see bullshit fundraisers on this GoFundMe site. We will see bullshit scammers asking for money. And okay, I'll give you that. There are bullshitters out there, but you have that sense, you have that ding red flag going off. Don't give them shit. And seriously, don't ever give a goddamn dime for all I care. But the truth of the matter is, you have other things that you can give. You have other ways you can help. You have other items that you're not using. Because we're all using our money. So we can't say our money is an item that we're not using. We're all using our goddamn money. I mean, seriously. But you all have